Things take time, but how much time? Maybe more time than necessary. I'm David Stiernholm, and in this week's episode of Done, I'll share how you can streamline the time tasks take and use your time more effectively. But first, failing structure causes working hours to be used inefficiently. Then you don't get done what you want before the week is over. In my talks, I show how you and your colleagues can remedy this. Book a talk by me about working in a structured way for your summer conference. Email me at david@stiernholm.com and I'll send you a quote immediately. Work expands to fill the time available for its completion. It's roughly how Parkinson's law goes, formulated by C. Northcote Parkinson in the 1950s. It's more an observation about an everyday phenomenon than a law with a strict scientific basis, and I certainly recognize the phenomenon all the time. Do you? More than once, I have noticed that I get tasks done in less time when I'm in a hurry than when I have plenty of time, without them necessarily being done more carefully when I give them more time. If I plan to spend an afternoon building a presentation, it ends up taking the whole afternoon, even though I probably could have done it in a couple of hours. When you estimate how much time you need to do something, there's a risk that you, like me, allow more time than necessary. Then you waste time unnecessarily, which is unfortunate if you want to use your time effectively. This doesn't apply to those of you who are notorious time optimists, of course, and instead underestimate how long things take, because that's a completely different problem. The risk of overestimating the time required is especially great for things due far in the future. Then the calendar is more open and it looks as though you will have less to do then. As a consequence, you set aside a solid block of time for the task. But as the deadline approaches, the blocks become smaller because the calendar is fuller. The closer in time something is due, the more finely detailed we tend to plan our days. Given this, how can you use Parkinson's law to your advantage? Do this. When you estimate how much time you need to do things, especially things due far in the future, question your first estimate. Could you do the task in less time without compromising quality? If you recognize that Parkinson's law applies to your work from time to time, shave a little off the time you think you need. How about reducing the time by a quarter, if only to challenge yourself and test whether it works? Because if you streamline the time you allocate to specific tasks, you will have more time left over, which you can use to get additional things done. You may not know what you would do instead of spending an extra hour on the important task, but I'm sure it will become apparent to you as the time approaches. Then you'll be grateful that you also get those other tasks done that are so easy to postpone. Do you apply Parkinson's law in a completely different way? If so, how? Tell me in an email at david@stiernholm.com. I'm curious to hear. Thank you for today and see you again next week.